Hi and welcome to Programming Percy. Today we will be talking about what everyone else is talking about. I mean, it's all over the internet, right? So we will be talking about ChatGPT. OpenAI released on the 13th of November, so everybody could register and try out their new chat bot. And it's built or trained using GPT 3.5, and it's been a few days, and like everywhere I go on the internet, everybody is talking about it, and it feels like it will be super cool. So to try it out, you can visit OpenAI's website, openai.com, and you can click up at the top. There's a try button, which will bring you to. You need to register an account before, and then you will be able to visit their website where you can try it out. And that's what we will be doing here today. So one of the new features with this chatbot compared to previous chatbots is that this chatbot has a memory. So it will actually remember what you have been talking about previously and use that context whenever you're continuing the talk. So I mean, let's skip talking and let's talk to the bot instead. That's why we're here. So let's go and dive right in. So this is their website, and at the bottom here you can see a little prompt. So let's go ahead and let's tell the bot hello. I'm an assistant, a large language model trained by OpenAI. I'm here to answer your questions by the best of my ability. So what can he help us with today? Actually, I'm currently writing a new blog post, so let's go ahead and ask it. I'd like help writing a new blog post. Let's see if he can help us, or she. Okay, so it's asking us what topic. This is really cool. So it's asking us what topic we are planning to write about. So what date, what topic, an event. So let's tell. I'm actually right now. I'm writing an article about a tutorial on learning Svelte and SvelteKit. So sure, a tutorial about Svelte and sounds like a great topic. Here's a few tips. Oh my god. What? Start by providing some background on what Svelte. Oh crap. This is break down the tutorial into manageable steps and sections, an overview, advanced topics like routing and stage management. This will make the tutorial easier to follow. Holy crap! This is amazing! Use examples and code snippets to illustrate important concepts. Oh, wow. Don't forget to include a conclusion. Wow, so, okay. The bot is providing some really solid advice. Basically, when you start blogging, this is advice that you see everybody actually give you, and that's cool. So let's ask it some more advanced questions, because that's pretty easy, right? So what about SEO optimization? Because we want good SEO. So SEO, or the SER, refers to the practice. Oh, wow, it's writing a wall. There's so much text. I did not expect so much text. So SEO, or search engine optimization, refers to the practice of optimizing a website. Yada yada. In general, it's a good idea to optimize your blog post for SEO to help it rank higher. Choose keywords or phrase that is relevant to your blog post. Wow, this is really cool. This is really, I mean, it's giving us really solid advice, which I would, in a normal case, I would have to Google a lot. This is just handing me a summary Google. Wow. So it's telling us to use subheadings and meta tags and high quality backlinks. So that it really knows what it's talking about. That's cool. So can you review my... Let's ask it if it can... I mean, it's really smart. Can you review my latest post? Okay, so the bot seems to be unable to review my post. It's telling us that it's here to answer questions, basically. It can answer our questions or concerns and give general advice. She doesn't have the ability to browse the internet or access external information. Okay, but that's cool. So one thing I'm writing about currently in my Svelte article is that how and when the client-side executions will be triggered in Svelte, because it's a bit unclear. And in Svelte we have these plus page JavaScript. So let's ask OpenAI or the ChatGPT if the page.js will only be triggered on the client side or the server side. So will page run on the client side or the server side? Let's see what she answers. Okay, so the bot is telling us that she doesn't have enough context. Page.js, she understands that it's JavaScript and that it's usually ran on the client side, but she's also telling us that she isn't sure because there's not enough context. So let's give her... So this is the thing about the memory. Let's try that out, because we have been talking. She has answered our question, but let's now ask her a follow-up question about this. So let's tell her that we're not talking about regular JavaScript, we're talking about the Svelte framework. So the question relates to Svelte. And let's see what... Oh, she actually did it! Wow! So in that case, page.js is likely a server-side JavaScript file that is used by Svelte to create dynamic content for your web pages in Svelte. In the context of Svelte, page.js would typically be a server-side module that is used to generate the HTML for a specific page. When a user requests that, the server would execute page.js module to generate it. Okay, I mean I think it can run on the client side also, but this is really, really cool. I have to verify that what she's telling us is true, because I'm a bit unsure that it's 100% accurate, but that's... Wow. She knows a lot about code, so let's... Do you know how to code? Let's ask her. Let's see what she tells us. She does not have the ability to write or code myself. I'm not a traditional programming. She do have a vast amount of knowledge, however, about programming. So that's cool. So she doesn't know how to code. So while I was editing, I actually was signed out, so my text has changed a little bit. Sorry about that. But I've redone everything while you weren't watching, and now we're back on track. So we do know that she cannot code. She's telling us she doesn't have the ability to execute programming tasks by herself. But what about if we give her some guidance? So let's ask her if she can write a function in Go that prints hello world. And let's see what she's Let's see if she can help us code. So it's taking a little bit of time. Okay, so... Whoa. I mean... Okay, so creating a simple function as printing hello world, she can do. The bot can also... It's also explaining how we should execute this function, which is pretty cool. So not only did it generate the code, it also tells us how we can execute the code. Let's make something more advanced. Can you write a function in Go that connects to Twitter API? So let's see if the bot can connect to the Twitter API in Go. It should be a little bit more advanced to connect to Twitter than simply printing hello, but it seems the bot... Wow. Wow. It's even... Wait a minute. Wait, this is a really long answer. So let's see what she wrote. Here's the example code. We have a few constants, and they're constants, and they are using the G-Hubble OAuth to create a new token. They create a new client. It even comments the code. It's really cool. So they are fetching all the tweets. To use this function, you need to replace, it's telling us we need to replace the secret keys, of course. And she's telling us again how to run it and what endpoint she's fetching. And that's really cool. That's, I mean, imagine what you can do with this. Let's try something more. Let's see if she can debug for us. So there is a bug in my code. Can you find it for me? And let's give her a code snippet. This is a code block. Let's tell her go func print stuff, and let's make a function that returns a string, but it creates a integer and returns a number. Oh, let's not run it as a Go routine. Let's see if she can figure out what's wrong with this function. Obviously, we're trying to return an integer instead of a string, but can the bot figure this out? Let's see. It's pretty slow today, I guess, because people are really using this a lot, so it might be a slight delay. Okay. Oh, wow. So she found the bug, and she also tells us how to correct the bug, which is, let's see, her solution is, it works, I suppose. It's a little bit weird, to be honest. It's not flawless. She's creating an integer, she's then converting it to a integer again, which is a bit weird, but again, she found the bug, so at least we can take the code snippet she gave us and correct it. So what should we do now? Let's see. She has printed a function for us, and let's go ahead. Let's ask for a unit test. Let's see how far we can push this. Is there a unit test to that example? Let's see if she can do this for us. Because we want to make sure that the code she's giving us actually works as expected, right? Same as any other developer. So she's telling us what a unit test is. She's telling us how to create unit tests in Go. And we can use the testing package for that, which she does. And she's... wow. She's creating a test function that expects 42, print stuff 42. Okay. Here's a little bit... it's a little bit weird. She's all of a sudden she's passing in a variable, which the function doesn't do. So it's not flawless, but it's pretty cool. She's generating this. I guess the bot kind of thinks that print stuff should print whatever value we put in, which is not true. So she's a little bit confused, but it's still pretty cool that she's generating all this code for us. She's telling us how to run the code, why we can run it, and how Go uses their testing libraries, and that's cool. Let's see can it be a table-driven test? So again, with the memory change that they have implemented, we can ask follow-up questions, which is really cool. So let's ask her if she can modify the test and make it table-driven instead. So let's see what she says about that. Okay, obviously she can make it table driven, she says, and she is creating a table driven test. She is creating a few test cases, which she added. That's kind of like fuzzing. She's fuzzing for us, which is cool. Again, she still believes print stuff accepts a value. I mean, we can ask her why. Let's should print stuff really accept an input parameter? Let's ask her. Let's see what she says. Whoa, it's a really long answer. So it's difficult for her to say. It looks like the print stuff function does not currently accept any input, but it makes sense to include one if it's necessary. So she's okay. This is pretty interesting because she's telling us that right now print stuff doesn't accept anything, but she is putting in an input because she thinks it makes sense that it should. If the print okay, she's making a few decisions of her own, but it's really cool. Let's see. Can we deploy print stuff to AWS Lambda? Let's see if she tells us anything about the deployment of this amazing function. Okay, so let's see. She's telling us it is possible to deploy it as a serverless Lambda, and she's telling us we can use the Lambda console, CLI, or SDK. And she's giving us a wrapper where she has converted it to a Lambda. It now accepts a context and the number to print. So she added the number for us now. She really wants the number to be there. Okay, this looks like a valid Lambda. So we will want to deploy it using Terraform. So I would love to use Terraform as a deployment for deployment. So let's see what she says about Terraform. Can she fix this for us? So it is possible to use Terraform. She's telling us a little bit about Terraform. She repeats a lot. So let's see what she did. She created a Terraform for us, and she created a AWS Lambda print stuff with a zip file. So she wants us to zip the file, and it's giving the Lambda execute role, and she's creating the Lambda role. She even created a region for us. And this is pretty cool. This is cool. I mean, this is still testing. Like, this is a beta bot. Like, imagine when you can do some real stuff with this. I mean, you would have to check that it makes the correct things, obviously, but Wow. So let's see. Let's see again how we can you create a VPC and a subnet for that Lambda also? So let's see. She's telling us it is possible, and she is creating the subnet, and she's connecting that subnet to the VPC with a CIDR block. She's tagging it, and then she is adding the VPC config to the Lambda resource. Wow, this is really cool. I mean, I've tested Copilot from GitHub and it's nice, but this is, imagine if they make this like a plugin as a coding buddy. Like, it'd be insane. Okay, she did the right thing, so that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously we would need to change this a little bit, but again, so what command would I use to deploy the Terraform? Let's see what she tells us about the deployment. So she's telling us to deploy the print stuff function, you can use Terraform apply. Obviously, would read, here's a little bit example, and she's telling us a little bit. I mean, it's correct, we need to configure and stuff also, but it's, I mean, it can be really helpful. I mean, instead of Googling, I could totally be doing this. So one final thing is, we were asking her a little bit about Svelte in the beginning. So let's also see, I would like a Docker file to run my Svelte application. So I mean, creating a Docker file doesn't take very long. It's not very complex, but if we can skip that part, why wouldn't we? So let's see if she can help us. To run a Svelte application in a Docker, you can create a Docker file and build it with Docker build. She's correct. Here's the example, how to run it. She's using Node 14 Slim. It's a lightweight node runtime. She installs the dependencies and she runs it. And she's telling us the URL. I mean, this is pretty insane. This is, wow. Holy shit. Can we debug print stuff as a Lambda using AWS SAM? Let's make it really hard. I mean, I made a whole video about how to debug using AWS SAM. Let's see if she can replace my whole video. And let's see, she's creating the YAML file for us. She's telling us, yes, you can debug locally using AWS SAM. Here's the SAM template. Here's the SAM. She created a SAM template for us. And to be honest, it looks legit. I think that would, at first glance, I think, yes, this is everything. It would work. Wow. Okay, let's be honest. I'm starstruck, and I understand why everybody is talking about ChatGPT, because it's really cool. I mean, look at the stuff we have been doing here. Basically, she could probably be used to, or this bot could probably be used to build small applications very easily by using AI. And it's terrifying. At the same time as it's cool, it's terrifying. Because it kind of feels like I will be out of a job in a few years if this continues. I mean, it made a few stuff that were weird, like adding a parameter, but it had a reason for it. It basically told us that it makes sense to accept a parameter here, so I'd go ahead and done it. And I'm not sure. I mean, I feel that it's really cool. I love it. I would love to have ChatGPT as like a plugin for VS Code, to use it as a buddy. Somebody should code that. I don't have the time. You should do it. I mean, this is some pretty amazing stuff happening. I mean, imagine where we will be in a few years if OpenAI keeps continuously improving their AI, and this bot just it's pretty amazing. I mean, this is everything for my review of the ChatGPT. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will watch more of my videos. So like and subscribe, and hopefully I will hear from you guys. Have you played around with the ChatGPT? If you haven't, you should go ahead and do it. I mean, tell me your horror stories, or tell me what you thought was cool, how you used it, or any plans you have to use it. And hopefully I will hear from you guys. Thank you. See you.